Hello everyone, and let's talk really quickly about Six Stunning Sirens by Lynn Cahoon. This is book number 6 in the A Kitchen Witch mystery series. This is an adult cozy mystery. And I only say adult because it's found in the adult section at like Barnes & Noble or other booksellers. It would be with the adult books. But it's a cozy mystery, so you don't need to worry about anything sexually explicit, really any rough language or anything like that. So for this series, we are following Mia Malone, who opens a catering business at this place that was abandoned. It happens to be an old school, so it does have a school setting, but she is converting it to her catering business. She rents some of the classrooms up as her apartment type area that are on like the second floor, and then the actual business takes place on the main floor of the building. Like with any cozy mysteries, you have a death. The main character, in this case Mia, wants to clear whoever is the suspect or herself from said murder, and they insert themselves into the investigation. It could be that they also believe that they can find out information before the police and do a better job than the police. So they insert themselves into the investigation to solve the murder. The murder always gets resolved. That's how it is with a cozy mystery. There's comedic elements a lot of the times, at least in the ones that I have read, and then it moves on to the next book in the series if it happens to be a series, which I have yet never read a standalone cozy mystery. So, and this is no exception. This is this is book number 6 in that series. This is told in third person. This one is a newer release. It was published in 2024. Book number 7 has been announced, and it will be released later on in this year. And this is set in Idaho. So if you were trying to read a book that takes place in certain states, Idaho would be one for this one. And yeah, it's a small town as well. So if you like small town cozy mysteries, there you go. This is a fantasy-like cozy mystery because Mia Malone is a kitchen witch. So when she cooks, she can infuse some of her creations with some powers. There are other witches, there's covens, there's werewolves, oh my, you know, things like that. There was an audiobook available when I read this. It was narrated by Angie Hickman. It was 7 hours and 29 minutes on standard one-time speed, and it's told in third person. So in this one, Mia does have a little special someone, and he has a familiar, she has a familiar. She has a kitchen witch familiar, and then they also have, there's a cat in this as well named Mr. Darcy, and just goes from there. She's trying to learn some stuff from her grandma, and we'll see where things go from there. So that is the story in a nutshell. What are the words that are used? Okay, so as far as content and trigger warnings, you do have dementia that is mentioned about, as well as a seizure. So depending on where you stand with things, that can either be a representation or it can be a content warning. It does not go into depth, so it is very surface level, very much glossed over. Okay? And then, so that's your content / your representation. Outside of that, anything as far as diversity would be up to your imagination. We have the following words: hell 1 time, the word suicide 3 times, and boob once. Now in this particular book, Mia's Morsels is what it's called. They're hosting a kind of like a beauty pageant. And so a lot of the references to suicide are fashion suicide, that type of a situation. So it's not actual unaliving of someone's self or anything like that. That's how it is. Now there is one word in here that some people might say it's a slur, others would say it's just a not nice word, and that word is hobo. Okay, H-O-B-O. I am a child of the 90s. Okay, I was born in 1983. I remember Halloween, people saying they're going to dress as a hobo for Halloween. So for those of you who may not know, that is reference, it's not a slur, but it is used in a derogatory way as someone who is homeless. Okay, I did do, and there's an AI Google overview, so I'm going to read this word for word so you get a better understanding of how not a nice word it is. I don't like hearing it. I've never liked hearing that word. I've never said that word, and I always refused to dress as said person in that situation because I always thought it was kind of poking fun at people in that situation. I never thought that was nice. So I always wanted to be like a ballerina, or like I remember wanting to be a Cleopatra one year, like one of those store-bought costumes, because I thought it was really pretty. I was like in 4th grade for that, 3rd or 4th. So it was a ballerina. My mom dressed me as a newspaper one time, a bunny, a witch. That was my favorite one. So yeah. Okay. It says, well, hobo isn't a word typically considered a direct slur in the same way as some ethnic or racial slurs. It does carry a negative connotation and is generally considered offensive when used to describe a vagrant or homeless person. And in this particular case, I think it's, if I remember right, it is used in the context of like a costume. So it says the word has been linked to derogatory terms like bum and tramp, and its association with homelessness makes it inappropriate for use in formal or respectful contexts. So it is definitely a word that I think we should get rid of, but it's definitely not along the words as like the N slur or other words like that, but it is still has never been in my existence used in a nice way, and I would like to see it stop being used that way. So that's how it is. Now I do have a couple of things I have underlined. It says, sometimes it's easier to just wipe away the past and create something new. But when you remodel old buildings rather than destroy them, you don't lose the spark that the building held. You keep the shared history and the town's story. When you tear down the past, you forget the lessons that our ancestors have already paid for, sometimes in blood. One other quote I will share with you is, let's see. I don't know, I'm just flipping through. We'll just go to this last one I have underlined here. It says, there is a lot we don't understand about what makes us human, but I know one thing. It's not just our body having a heartbeat or being able to take a breath. Like that. All right, so let's read about the author. It says, Lynn Cahoon is an award-winning New York Times and USA best-selling author of cozy mysteries, including the Kitchen Witch Mysteries, which is this one, the Cat Latimer Mystery Series, the Tourist Trap Mysteries, the Farm to Fork Series, the Survivors Book Club Mystery Series, and the Bainbridge Island Mysteries. She is a member of Sisters in Crime, Mystery Writers of America, and International Thriller Writers, and her books have sold more than 1 million copies. Originally from Idaho, she grew up living the small town life she now loves to feature in her novels. She now lives with her husband and 2 fur babies in a small historic town in eastern Tennessee and can be found online at lynncahoon.com. So I had fun with this. My particular edition was 276 pages. I highly recommend this if you like cozy mysteries and like the fantastical twist, like with witches and other paranormal creatures maybe. I do recommend this series. So I had a great time with it, and I am all caught up on this series, so I am excited for the 7th book to come out so I can pick that up and devour that one. Let me know, have you read this series? If you are reading the Kitchen Witch Mystery Series by Lynn Cahoon, what book number are you on? If you have not but have read other books by this author, let me know which ones you have read. If you have read these books and this author is not for you, definitely let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.